So in the previous lecture, I have told you about various types of forces. Now two more types are left that I have not told. Whether audio is reaching or not, audio is clear. So there are two more types of forces. We can classify the forces in two more ways. One is the central and non-central forces. Central and non-central forces. Now see here. For example, if you see the gravitational force acting in between two bodies, this is the mass m1, this is a mass m2, and what will be the force acting in between them? It is given by g m1 m2 upon r square. What is g? It is the universal gravitational constant. So the force which acts in between this and this, that is the force of attraction. Now when M1 will attract to M2, it will attract in what direction? It will apply the force in what direction? When M1 is attracting to M2, it will not apply the force in this direction. It will not apply the force in this direction. It will apply the force along the line joining the particles. Applying the force along the line joining the particles. It's clear. Similarly, when M2 will attract to M1, it will apply the force in which direction? Along the line joining the particles. F12 is force on M1 by the M2. F21 is force on M2 by the M1. Both will be equal. That you know from the Newton's law of action and reaction. Perhaps you must be knowing the Newton's law of action and reaction. What is Newton's law of action and reaction? To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So though we will study afterwards here also. So what are the central forces which acts along the line joining particles, bodies. It's clear. Line joining particles are bodies. That are called the central force. If you see the electric force, this is a positive charge and this is a negative charge. Both are positive and positive. This is the charge Q1, this is the charge Q2. Q1 will repel to Q2 and Q2 will repel to Q1. Means both are repelling to each other. In what direction they will exert the force? So Q1 will exert the force on Q2 in this direction. It is the direction along the line joining the particles. It's clear. Similarly, Q2 will exert the force on Q1 in what direction? This means we can say that gravitational force, electrostatic force, these are the central forces. So what are the examples? Examples are gravitational force. It's clear. Electric force. These are the examples of central forces. Non-central forces which do not act along the line joining the charges. Which do not act along the line joining the charges are called the non-central forces. For example, magnetic force. Magnetic force. It's clear. Now, after this, there is one more, conservative and non-conservative forces. Conservative and non-conservative forces. Conservative and non-conservative forces. Now, conservative forces are those, for which work done do not depend upon path. Work done do not depend on path. It's clear. It only depends upon the initial and final position. Only depends on initial and final position. Now see here, suppose this is the ground and you are carrying a body from here, from this position to this position. Once through this way, it's clear. Then you are carrying it from here to here. You have taken in this direction, means through this path. You are taking it from here to here. Once you have taken through the straight vertically upward, then you have taken through this way. It's clear. Then you have adopted some another way, in which case there will be more work. So see here, work is done against gravity. In all the three cases, work will be same. Whether you take the third case, or you take the second case, or you take the first case, in all the three cases, work will be same. It's clear. Work against gravity or under gravity. Work under gravity do not depend on path. Means gravitational force is what type of force? It is a conservative force. Conservative force. Now see here. Suppose once you have taken the body from here to here, you have taken the body from this position to this position. It's clear? Means going vertically upward, going against the gravity. Why against the gravity? Because the gravity force always acts in what direction? It always acts in the vertically downward direction. Gravity force, which is the weight, it is acting in vertically downward direction. So see here, you can see when you are carrying the body from here to here, you are going against gravity. Suppose 100 joule work is done in going up. Then what will be the work done when you are bringing the body from here to here? From this position to this position. Who can tell? Anand. Anand. When you are carrying the body from here to here, suppose 100 joule work is done. Then when you are carrying the body from this point to this point, how much work will be done? So it will be minus 100 joule. And why it is minus 100 joule? Because when you are going up, work is done against gravity. When you are bringing it in downward direction, you are coming along the gravity. Body is brought along the gravity, and therefore work will be done by the system itself, by the body itself, and that work is taken negative. That work is taken negative. So you can see here, you take the body from here to here, then brought from here to here. What will be the amount of work done? That will be 0. Amount of work done in carrying the body, amount of work done in carrying the body from this point to this point, and then from here to here, means over a closed path, it will be 0. It's clear? So work done by conservative force. Conservative force over a closed path is 0. This is the very important property of the conservative force. Work done by conservative force over a closed path is 0. Closed path means you have gone from here to here and then returned this way. In this case, work will become 0 because the initial and final point are same. Initial point is this position, final point is also the same position. Now another example of conservative force, it is the electric force. Electric force is also conservative. Electric force is a conservative force. Now see here, suppose this is the region of some electric field. This is the region of some electric field. What is the electric field? Electric field, it is that region where an electric charge experiences force. It is that region where an electric charge experiences force. It's clear? That region is called the electric field. This point is clear? So suppose this is a region where an electric charge is experiencing force. You have taken the charge from this point to this point. From point A to the point B. Once you have taken it by this way, then you have gone through this way. It's clear? You have moved the charge through this way. And then you have moved the charge through this way. You can find that in every case work will be same. Whether you go through this path or you carry the charge through this path or you carry the charge through this path, work will be same. In both cases, work will be same. It's clear? And if we take that work as W and charge is Q, so you already studied in the class 10 that what will be the potential difference between A and B? V equals to W upon Q. V equals to W upon Q. It's clear? So this you have studied here in the class 10. Now, one more thing. Suppose you are carrying the charge Q from A to B and 100 joule work is done. Then what will be the work done in carrying the same charge from B to A? What will be the same work, Purva Khatri?
Sir, minus 100 joule.
Minus 100 joule. It will be minus 100 joule. Why? Because the electric force is a conservative force. So if you are carrying from here to here plus 100 joule work is done, then on carrying from here to here minus 100 joule work will be done. Here you will do the work against the electric field. When you are carrying it in this direction, work will be done by the electric field. By the electric field. So these are the two examples of conservative forces. Now, non-conservative force. Non-conservative force is one in which the work done depend upon the path. Non-conservative force. Non-conservative force. Work done depend on path. Now suppose this surface is a rough surface. Here it is a rough surface. It's clear? And a body moved from here to here. You can see here, you draw the periphery of the boundary of the rough surface. Are you drawn here? Now I have taken one body from here to here. From this position to this position. One through this way. एक बार इसको ऐसे ले गए. It is a rough surface means there will be some friction. It is the rough surface. Rough surface means there will be some friction here. It's clear. Once you have taken the body through this way, this you can take path 1. Then you have taken the body through this way. This is the path 2. And then you have taken the body through this way. In which case there will be more work, or there will be same work in all the three. Whether there will be same work or there will be different amount of work. So you can see here, it is a rough surface, means there will be friction. So whether you carry the body from A to B, or you carry the body from B to A, in every case work will be done against friction. Work will be done against friction, because there is a general rule: if the body is moving over this floor in this direction, force of friction will act opposite to that. Suppose the body is moving in this direction, force of friction will act in what direction? In this direction. Suppose it is moving in this direction. Here, this body is moving, you can see here, in this direction. Force of friction will act opposite to it. So whether you are carrying the body from A to B or B to A, work will be always done against the friction. Work will be always done against the friction. Means if you carry it from here to here and 100 joule work is done, then in carrying from here to here, how much work will be done? Purva Khatri. यहां से यहां ले जाने में 100 जूल वर्क हुआ, तो B से A लाने में कितना वर्क होगा?
Sir, 100 joule.
100 joule. It will not be minus 100. And second thing, since the work is done against friction, so there will be more work in this case, because this path is longer among all the three. Among all the three paths, this path is longer. That's why here there will be more work. Here there will be least work. It's clear? So this is the non-conservative forces. It's clear? In non-conservative force, work done over the closed path will not be zero, because work depends upon the path. Work depends upon the path. It's clear? Now see here. After this, so now about the forces, I have told that there are, how can you classify the forces? Then the forces which we are going to study, that are the forces used in mechanics. Forces used in mechanics. Because presently we are studying mechanics. And what are the forces which are used in mechanics? So this one is push force, then pull force, weight. All the contact forces are non-contact, also gravitational force is a non-contact force. It's clear? Then tension force in the string, force acting during collision, force acting during collision, frictional force. Just now I have told frictional force is a non-conservative force. It's clear? Spring force. All these are the forces which are used in the mechanics. It's clear? Now after this I am going to begin inertia. So see here, what is inertia? You can see what do you mean by inertia? So inertia is that inherent property. Inherent means anything which can come from the birth. It's clear? It is that inherent property by virtue of which It cannot change. It cannot change its state by itself. It cannot change its state by itself. It's clear. It cannot change its position or state of rest or state of motion by itself. Its state of rest or, yes, here it is given, already given. It is that inherent property by virtue of which it cannot change by itself its state of rest or state of motion on a straight line. State of motion on a straight line, uniform motion on a straight line, unless acted upon by some external force. Now what does it mean? मतलब क्या है, कोई भी बॉडी अपनी स्टेट ऑफ रेस्ट या स्टेट ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म मोशन को खुद अपने आप से चेंज नहीं कर सकती है, unless an external force acts upon it. It can change. That change is possible only by the force. Only force can bring the change. Otherwise, if the body is at rest, you don't apply any force on the body, what will happen? It will always remain at rest. It will always remain at rest. If it is moving with some velocity, if it is moving with some speed in a direction, what will happen? It will keep on moving with the same speed in the same direction, unless acted upon by some external force. Some external force. Now see here, what is inertia? You can see. I have told that it is the inherent property of the body. It is the inability of the body to change its state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line. It is the inability of body. Inability of body to change its state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line. It's clear? Means if the body is at rest, it will always remain at rest. If the body is in motion, then it will keep on moving with same speed in the same direction. और कब तक? Unless acted upon by some external force. Now, what is the meaning of external force? External force means, see here, suppose this is a body, it must be made up of large number of atoms. There will be large number of atoms which are composing to this body. It's clear? Now the forces which are acting in between these atoms, in between these particles, which are constituting the body, that is the internal forces. You can see here, this is a body which is comprised by an innumerable number of particles. Innumerable means infinite number of particles. There will be some forces in between the particles. That force will be the gravitational force. They will attract to each other. But these forces are the internal forces. Because of these forces, it will not come into motion. Because of these forces, it cannot change its velocity. That is possible only when you apply some force upon it. It's clear? When you will apply the force, then only it will come into the state of motion. When you will apply the force, then apply the force on the already moving body, then only its velocity will change. Either it will increase or it will decrease or it will come to rest. But there is a general observation that if you roll a ball on the ground, if you roll a football over the ground, what happens? क्या होता है अगर हम बॉडी को, फुटबॉल को रोल कर दें ग्राउंड पर, क्या होता है? क्या लगातार वो मूव करती रहती है? बताओ, अगर हम बॉडी को ग्राउंड पर रोल कर दे तो क्या वो इंडेफिनिटली मूव करती है? Isika Trivedi, you answer this question. If you roll a football, if you roll a cricket ball on the ground, whether the ball moves indefinitely?
No, sir, it eventually stops.
It will not move indefinitely. But here no force is acting. You can say that there no force is acting. Actually, it is not so. One force is acting, but that force is not visible force. वो फोर्स हमको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. जैसे हम कार को धक्का लगाएं तो वो तो हमको लगता है कि हम फोर्स लगा रहे हैं. बैट से हम क्रिकेट की बॉल को हिट करें तो वहां पर हमको पता चल रहा है कि हम फोर्स लगा रहे हैं. बट व्हेन द this cricket ball is rolling over the ground, cricket ball is rolling over the ground, actually no visible force is acting. That invisible force is the force of friction, which is acting in what direction? In this direction. Because of this force of friction, which is not visible to us, it is invisible force. ये इस फोर्स के बारे में केवल क्या है उसी को मालूम है जिसको क्या है साइंस की थोड़ी बहुत नॉलेज है. जिसने साइंस नहीं पढ़ा है वो क्या है वो नहीं बता पाएगा कि दैट फोर्स इज एक्टिंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. ही विल से दैट नो फोर्स इज एक्टिंग ओवर इट, नो फोर्स इज एक्टिंग ओवर इट. एंड देन, और यही गैलीलियो, एरिस्टोटल के साथ यही हुआ था. एरिस्टोटल को उस समय तो फ्रिक्शन के बारे में किसी को पता ही नहीं था. On that basis, on the basis of these observations, he had told that a constant force is needed to maintain a constant velocity. Continuous force is needed to maintain a constant velocity. एक continuous force की requirement है. But afterwards it was found that no such force is required to keep the body moving with the same velocity. No force is required for keep the body moving with the same velocity. Force will be required only when we have to change the velocity. Is clear? So here one force is acting, and because of this force it comes to the rest position. So what is inertia? It is the inability of body to change its state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line. It's clear? This is called the inertia. And this state can change only when some force is applied. Now see here. Suppose this is a platform, railway platform. One heavy box is lying over the platform, and then there is a football is also kept on the floor. Both are at rest. This is at rest as well as this is at rest. In which case you can initiate the motion very easily by applying less force. In which case you can initiate the motion by applying less force.
Ball.
In one. Is clear? Therefore one is having one, not in one, in two. We can initiate the motion by applying less force in two. Two में हम क्या है थोड़ा सा हिट करें, it will keep on moving. पर यहाँ पर अगर हिट करें, what will happen? In case one, what will happen? It will not move. It will not. This thing is clear. This thing is clear or not? It will move only when when a great large force is acting over it. When a large force is acting over it. So see here, whose inertia is more? Case box is having greater inertia, ball is having less inertia. What is the measure of amount of inertia? What is the measure of this inability? इस इनेबिलिटी का मेजर क्या है? कौन ज्यादा इनेबल है? हेवी बॉडीज आर लाइटर बॉडी. सो हेवी बॉडीज आर मोर इनेबल. They require greater force to change, to bring the change. It's clear? So what is the measure of inertia? Measure of inertia is inertia. This you have studied in the class 9. It is the mass. Mass is the measure of the inertia. More the mass, more will be inertia. And more will be inertia means body will be more enable. Will be more enable. Means its inability to change will be more. Body will be more enable to change its state of rest or of uniform motion. It is clear? Means greater force will be required. Greater force will be required to make the change. Change in its state. Now see here, there is a very good example. Suppose there is a, have you seen buffalo? This is a buffalo. Its spelling may not be correct. And there is one dog, which have more inertia. अगर तुम कार से जा रहे हो, रास्ते में ये बैठी, रास्ते में ये बैठा है, किसको हटाने के लिए तुमको अधिक फोर्स एक्सर्ट करना पड़ेगा? इसको. ये जल्दी नहीं हटेगी, जबकि ये क्या है, तुरंत भाग जाएगा. So inertia, its measure is mass. More the mass, more will be the inertia. More will be the inertia means body will be more enable. In its inability to change will be more, and therefore it requires greater force to bring the change. It requires greater force to bring the change. It's clear? Now we can classify inertia in three parts. One is the inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. So, how will you describe the inertia of rest? You can see here, inability of body to change its state of rest. Unless to change its state of rest, along inability of body to change its state of rest by itself. By itself. It's clear? It is the inability of body to change its state of rest by itself. It is inability of body to change its state of rest by its own. It's clear? It can bring the change only by applying the force. Any example? Can you give any example of this? Suppose you are standing on a train or on a bus. It's clear, compartment of a train or inside the bus without any support. You are standing like this. और तुमको नहीं मालूम चलता है and the driver suddenly starts the bus. तुमको आइडिया नहीं होने पाता है कि ड्राइवर स्टार्ट करने जा रहा है बस को. Driver suddenly starts the bus and moves forward. What will happen? You will find that you will fall in the backward direction. You will fall in the backward direction. It's clear? Suppose this is the, इसको हम क्या कर सकते हैं, बस की कॉकपिट है. जैसे एरोप्लेन में हमको क्या है, पायलट्स नहीं दिखाई देते हैं. सपोज ऐसी बस है जिसमें हमको ड्राइवर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. यहाँ पर हम लोग क्या है, यहाँ बैठे खड़े हुए हैं, कुछ लोग बैठे हुए हैं, कुछ लोग खड़े हुए हैं. Suppose you are standing here without any support and suddenly driver starts the bus and moves forward. What will happen? You will fall in the backward direction. And why you will fall in the backward direction? Because the lower portion of your body, you can see here, lower portion of your body which is in contact of the bus.